My name is Ty. I'm the Executive Director of Amare.
My name is Nate. I'm a firefighter paramedic here at Wood River Fire Department.
And this is Madison County Informed.
We want to thank everybody who took the time to view our pilot episode that dealt with addiction and opiates in our community. Over 5,000 views. Thank you very much. Today we're going to deal with another topic that's a little bit difficult to discuss.
Yeah, and mental health is very important, so we felt the need that we needed to talk about suicide. Talking about suicide can be very difficult, but not talking about suicide can be deadly.
Oftentimes when we talk about suicide, we focus on maybe someone that you know and identifying the warning signs, someone who may be struggling, but really today we want to focus on you. And if you're the person that may be having those thoughts or those struggles, what can we do to help you and where can you go to get those resources?
If you feel that you are suicidal and you want to end your life, call 911, or you can call the Suicide Prevention Hotline at 1-800-273-TALK. And we got a very special guest for you guys today. Next to me is my very good friend, AJ French. She's the Executive Director of Gift of Voice. You can visit them at www.giftofvoice.com, but she's going to tell you a little bit more about what they do at Gift of Voice, and we're going to get into a little bit more stuff about personal experiences.
Thanks, Ty. It's really good to be here with you and Nate today. Gift of Voice is a mental health and trauma recovery training center operated primarily by people in mental health recovery, people like myself. And just to share with you, I had thoughts of suicide at a very young age, daily, and my own first suicide attempt was in high school. I had multiple attempts for many years that followed that. And later in this episode, we're going to be sharing some of the things that I personally found helpful.
Thank you, AJ. And as you guys know, I am a person in long-term recovery from drug and alcohol addiction, but I don't talk about it too often. I am also in recovery from depression. I battled since I was a young kid. So when my active addiction took off, it amped up my depression. And I do share some suicidal tendencies, as AJ does as well. A lot of people know that I have had 2 failed suicide attempts. And I had one time I also spent in Kettler. A counselor convinced me to go because I did have suicidal ideations. I did want to harm myself. I was just so spiritually and emotionally bankrupt. So I'm glad that you're here, and I'm glad that we can really share this conversation that I think is really neat.
For us first responders, when we're called to a patient who's attempted suicide, it adds a whole nother layer of emotion or difficulty for us on the scene, because we're caring for the patient, but we're also caring for the family and other people that may be affected there on the scene. And also, my fellow first responders are at a higher national average of suicide than general population. So it is tough, and we know that statewide and nationally, the numbers are trending upward.
Well, here locally, right here in Madison County in 2017, we had 53 people who ended their lives from suicide. 53 people, that's almost 1 per week. It's actually over 1 per week. The youngest was a 17-year-old young woman, and the oldest was a 90-year-old man. And statistically, older white males are the greatest rate of people who die from suicide.
Yeah, and when I reached out to Steve Nahn, I asked him to give us some local numbers. I didn't realize how many people have died from suicide right here at home. And when I was going through the stats, he gave a redacted version, so I wasn't able to see the name, but I could see the age, I could see the gender. And I literally started crying when I was going through this, and I was thinking about what were they feeling? What did their family feel after they died from suicide and they're not here anymore? Because I can relate to that pain. I really can. I can relate to just feeling like there's no hope and there's nothing, there's no tomorrow for me. So it was really surreal to go through those stats. It really was.
Yeah, I think many people who are watching this are going to be able to relate to that pain that you've shared, that I've shared, just living in that place of darkness and feeling like there is no hope. But the good news is there is hope. There is hope for recovery. We are living proof of that. And we just want you to know that if you're in that place, it's all right if you're feeling bad. there's no shame in the emotions that we were all born with. So don't ever let shame interfere with seeking support, so that way you can get to a place where maybe you don't have hope right this minute, but if you can get to a place where someone does have hope, you don't have to stay in that hopeless place.
Yeah. And there's a lot of resources. I believe the Warm Line, before a crisis happens.
The Warm Line. So can you guys just take out your cell phones, please?
Yep.
Take out your cell phones. So this is a really great resource to have. And it's not a hotline. It's not a crisis line. This is a warm line that people can call just when they want to talk to somebody and get a little bit of extra support. There's also tremendous referrals. But if you would, power up your phones and just enter this number into your contacts. And folks who are watching, if you would enter this number into your contacts, then you'll have it on your person either for yourself or should you come across somebody else that's in a vulnerable place. So that number to the Warm Line is 866-359-7953. And this is a resource for folks throughout the state of Illinois.
That's right, and if you or someone that you love or care about is experiencing these issues, you can also text 741-741 or call the Suicide Prevention Hotline. But please, if you need that help, reach out and get it. There's people there that care and that are willing to support you.
So Nate, you mentioned that first responders that are a higher risk of suicide, across the nation. What's it like right here in Madison County?
Well, nobody that I know personally has been affected, but
Thank God.
Absolutely. But the things that we see in our job do put higher stressors on these guys. It is a high stress job, same for law enforcement officers. So we just want to focus on the fact that there are resources out there. There's firefighter peer support groups and lots of other help that you can get. A lot of times the employers offer EAPs that are a good source of at least a place to start. So, if you're a first responder and you're struggling, we know that we're at a higher risk for mental health issues and this problem of suicide. So please seek out the help. It's there and it's available for us.
You really bring out a great point about professionals needing to tend to their own mental health care, and whether you're a first responder or just an EAP, how does that? Employment Assistance Program?
Yeah, EAP.
EAP. So even the EAP program, maybe you're not a first responder and you work in a professional environment, no matter what line of work you're in or what your lot is in life, please seek support. There is hope for recovery.
And I think there's one thing that we forgot to talk about, and that's WRAP, the Wellness Recovery Action Plan. And I think really, AJ, I have had the honor to shadow a group and facilitate a group with you. And could you tell a little bit more about what WRAP is?
Sure. So WRAP stands for Wellness Recovery Action Plan, and it's an evidence-based mental health education curriculum. But it has four basic parts. The foundational principles of wellness in Illinois are hope, which we've talked about, personal responsibility, which is just making good choices, support, which is encouragement, and accountability. We need both. Education, it's just getting good, solid information. Doesn't mean we have to go to a school somewhere. And also self-advocacy, and this is a really important one, the ability to effectively communicate to get our needs met. And spirituality, that which brings meaning and purpose to our lives. That's only the first part. There's actually many other parts, but just to let people know, it's a place where you can find wellness tools, tools that will help you build, improve, and maintain your mental health. And you can learn to develop action plans for 6 different stages of mental health, from what a person's like when they're well, to all those early warning signs when things begin to break down, to even crisis planning and a post-crisis planning.
Yeah, and it was really great to facilitate. Again, got to know people, got to hear their pain, because honestly for me, and this is just in my opinion, I think our universal language is emotions, because we understand that, and I think this is why support is important. I think this is why we should be talking to one another, and if anybody's going through this and feeling these things, please reach out, like Nate said. Get some help, reach out to us, reach out to Gift of Voice. We can steer you guys in the right direction. I think we covered quite a bit. And
hey Ty,
yes,
it's kind of like my shirt says, we have to let people know your life has value, your life has meaning, your life has purpose, and your life has significance.
Amen. I think that's a good spot for us to kind of conclude today. So as always, love loudly, love strongly, and love selflessly. My name is Ty.
I'm Nate.
My name is AJ.
This
and
is
Madison
Madison
County
County
Informed.